want to start off with Psalm 145. It says this in verse 18, "The Lord is near to all who call on Him. He fulfills the desire of those who fear Him. He also hears their cry and saves them." So one of the things we know about God is we have this God who's like personal, and He's near to us, and He's not this distant deity, but He actually wants to know us and be with us. In fact, that's the whole idea that God Himself, the presence of God, the person of God, takes a step out of heaven and takes on flesh and comes to earth as a man, right? I mean, that's a God that is personal, that wants to be near us. And so we as Christians, we model this with being near other people, getting in the lives of other people, being close to other people. And yet we find ourselves in a situation where a lot of that just isn't possible in the same way it was a month or two ago with this whole social distancing thing, and we just need to be careful, right? And so, someone goes up for a high five and you do the punch or the elbow or whatever it means to just keep some space and honor this whole thing that we're dealing with right now to not get people sick. And so what does it look like right now? Is there a way to have relational proximity while social distancing? And so I had a couple ideas for you today. Maybe you can come up with some other ideas and share them in the comment section here below. But the first is this, create a daily text and phone call schedule. So what if you just made a list of those who are closest to you, those who maybe you influence in a daily life, and you just said, I'm gonna call them, text them, send a voice memo to them, and just reach out and show that I care about them at least once a day or once every other day, and ask maybe these questions. How are you doing? How can I help? And how can I pray for you? It's that simple. And I just want you to know that's going to go a long ways. The second thing I thought about today, what if you plan like a group road trip? You got all your friends together, you met up somewhere, and in separate vehicles, you just went and drove somewhere. I remember back in the day, my family, we just get in a car on Sunday and we would drive, and we loved it, right? So what if you and maybe your family and then other families just said, hey, we're gonna plan a road trip, we're gonna go somewhere sort of together but not together, and keep our distance, and yet we're doing something together today. Another thought is this, be intentional about social media. Be intentional, make a plan for it. So once a day, plan maybe just like an hour to be on social media. One of the things I want to ask you not to do is to be not on there all day long. I mean, we need to make some distance, and honestly, there's so much hype and so much fear going around that we don't need to be on the internet, don't need to be watching the news all day long. Just turn off the all-day news channel. It's going to help you out a ton. But what if you were intentional about going on social media, and maybe you used to just scroll through, but now you're gonna engage, right? Use the little emojis, use a little heart, use the like, but honestly right now it's one of the simple ways that we have to interact with one another and show that, hey, I notice you, I know that you're there, I saw the post, and I'm aware of what's going on in your life. And so be free with your giving of likes and comments right now, but only do that, I would say, for maybe about an hour a day. Another idea is this, get to know your family. Like one of the things I realized in my life is that I'm busy, I'm running at a really fast pace, and my kids are growing up, life's changing, and so what if we just intentionally during this time together got to know each other again? I don't know what that looks like for you. Maybe just start with playing a card game together and then ask some real questions about life. What does it look like for you to have a great year? Or what does the next season of life look like? What's your vision for the future? Maybe just ask people what they're passionate about right now. What they're laughing at, what their favorite shows are. Maybe you don't even know those things right now, but we need to get into each other's lives and maybe start some new patterns of being closer with one another. And the fifth thing I had today is just pick one person that can be sort of your battle buddy through this whole journey. You need at least one person that you trust, that you love, that when you're stressed you can lean on them and be honest and open with them. Because at some point, this whole thing, if it's not stressing you out right now, it's gonna stress you out. If this lasts months and months on end, we're gonna really need people who are in this with us. And so make sure you have a community around you, you encourage each other, and remember, we are in this together.